pronounce your name for the people that are here. So, so we all, pronounce it correctly.
All right. It's spelled Evantz, but I pronounce it Evans. It really depends on who's talking to me.
Okay.
If it's higher clientele, if you want to call me Evantz, I respond. However you want to spell it on my check, as long as I can cash it, I don't care.
Absolutely. And see,
But
I've always said Evantz. So, you
that's
know,
fine.
as
I
long as
respond to
I'm
it.
calling you, that's what's important, right?
Say it
Thank
again. One more time, please.
you.
As
Thank
long as
you.
you're calling me.
That's right. And make sure you invite me to lunch or dinner, then I'll respond to whatever you call me, right? There it is.
Yes,
There it is.
exactly, exactly. So where do you want to go first?
Well, I tell you, first, let's just start. Tell folks where you're at, and again, I said, and I don't know if this is even correct, that that you service all the bureaus. Maybe you don't, right? But tell
Uh,
them where you're at and where you serve.
I'm currently right now. My office is in Queens. That's in New York, and I Long Island, Brooklyn, the Bronx. When it comes to listings, the Bronx, Long Island, and Brooklyn. For buyers, I will work Queens and some parts of Nassau and Suffolk. That's Long Island for most of you. Sorry, my New York accent comes out every now and again when I say Long Island, on Long Island. They'll kill me if I say in Long Island, it's on Long Island. There is a difference.
Got it. Got it. So where are you from, man? You're not from that area, are you?
I'm originally born and bred here in Brooklyn, originally from Brooklyn. My parents are Haitian, so that's the
Okay.
last name Saint-Gerard. So that's pretty much it. I'm
That's
a basic guy, but everybody thinks I'm more fancier, with my last name and whatnot. So I have to live up to it, I guess.
well, and you have, man. You guys have done such an amazing job there, and it was the reason why I wanted you on because I don't think I've had if I've had anybody from your region, there might be one person, but I think that you're a frequent visitor here. I think I've had the pleasure of meeting you at our travels somewhere around this country, and I one you're my agent partner, right, in that area, and I want to earn the right here in the Dallas area for when it comes to real estate that you think of me. And I'd say that when I see one of my good friends on too, when you think of Texas, if you think in San Antonio, it's Mo. If you think in Ben and Dallas, it's me, right? And so Queens, it's you, baby, it's you. So let's just start by. I know you've been at this a minute. How long you been in the business currently?
We're going on year 13,
Okay.
which I never thought I'd make it this far. I'm gonna be honest with you. I figured, all right, I'll do real estate for a while until I figure out what I want to do. Guess what? Real estate chose me, so this I'm here and I'm staying
There
for
you
as long
go.
as I can until they throw me out.
Yeah. Well, I think that they haven't thrown you out because one, you're
No,
good at what you do. And I think that you bring a passion to this that I think your clients recognize and they just know you as real. And I mean that's the way I see you. Because I'm like, the brother is he is unapologetic and apologetically him. And I think that again, I'm on the outside looking in. I think you're so simple and you're so easy, you're so nurturing and so caring. And I think that's what your clients, they feel it. And that's the reason why they're drawn to you.
just to piggyback on what you just said, my first letter in my name is E. Last letter in my first name is Z. So easy. I try to make everything easy as possible. You give me something complicated, I'll try and make it as easy as possible for my clients and whatnot. So that's just how I am. I
I
don't like
like,
complications. Just make it easy, basic for everybody.
there you go. Now your partner, is that your
He-
partner behind you?
yeah,
And so,
he's literally right here. He's
yes.
he's on the Zoom as well, so I'm not nervous at all.
Oh yeah. No
He's
reason
pros
to be.
he's prospecting and he's doing this at the same time just to support me.
See again, he's multitasking. Again, I think that you guys are probably a unique blend. What does Dan bring to the table
Uh,
for the team?
Dean brings to the table. He's kind of brains of this operations. I'm more the tech and marketing. He is the I call him the pit bull basically when it comes to real estate, when it comes to sales. He's a pit bull. If there's meat on that bone, he was not going to let go. I'm saying this on purpose just to see a reaction in his face.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm kind of similar, but on the marketing part, basically, if there's a way that we can make it happen, get some attention, get people's just get people to notice us, basically, I'll do it.
Got
Short of
it.
dancing on TikTok.
Ditto. I haven't done that. So,
Yeah,
uh, and
yeah.
yet I can dance, but don't get it twisted. I can dance, Christina. I can dance. I'm just telling you. So,
I'm smelling a competition here.
hey, don't get me started. I'm just saying. Okay. Now let's start by what's happening in New York, in Queens, and Manhattan. What are we seeing happening there in that market?
Pretty much each borough is slightly different when it comes to real estate, but the same thing that's going on in the country is the same thing that's going on in New York. We have a shortage of inventory. We have a lot more buyers who want homes, and we have a lot of sellers who are buyers also who don't know what their next move is. Some want to move from one borough to the next, or they want to go to Dallas, or they want to go to San Antonio. They want to go to other places, but they don't know that they can afford it. So that's my job. Part of my job, part of his job, is to educate our clients, let them know, hey, this is what's going on. You can make a move if you want to. Here are the steps if you want to listen to me, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Listen to you. Are you finding that to be more difficult today than it used to be? Because I am. That's why I ask.
Yes, yes. You have to make a lot more phone calls, a lot more door knocking, just a lot of everything to get in people's faces, just to
Yeah.
remind them, hey, I'm still here. I know that you want to do this. Let me show you, the steps of how to get this done. And you really, really, really have to break it down for them so they can understand it. And like, oh wow, you know what? I didn't hear you the first time. I didn't listen to you the second time. Third time, you're still here. Fourth time, you know what? Maybe I should listen to you. Fifth time, you know what? I'm gonna open up the door. I'm not gonna slam it on your face this time. You can come into the house and we can talk some more. So it's a lot more conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm finding that across the board. And yeah, constantly bringing value. And I think some folks appreciate it, and others, they just have to be hit 20 times before they
Yep.
finally listen. And it is what it is. But again, I think that's the reason why we are who we are, is because we don't quit. Not going to give up on them, right? And at some point, they'll self-discover that you've been looking out for them the whole time, and that you've never wavered in your support. So that's great.
I think it also comes to the support that you have around you as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. There are some days I'm doing real estate. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done today. I think I'm gonna retire. I think I'm gonna go do something else, anything else. And then this gentleman behind me basically gives me stern talking to. Is like, no, you're in this to win it. You better, 5 seconds for the pity party. Get over it. Get back to
Same,
work. And I'm
same.
like, all right, you know what? I hate your guts right now, but you are right. Which I'll never tell him to his face. He heard that. Of course, that part he heard.
Yes, they're exactly
So
right.
so yeah, so putting a smile on his face. So pretty much you have 5 seconds to give yourself a pity party and get back to work.
Yeah.
And just remember that there's a lot of people counting on you. People that have not met you yet, basically, that you're gonna provide tremendous service to. And not just them, it's also their friends, their family, and whatnot. So give yourself, 5 seconds of grace,
There
give
you go.
yourself a pity party, whatever you want to call it, and brush your shoulders off and get back to work.
Well, you hear me say it, and I know folks who are regular visitors here, they hear me say it every week. And I think that, your company matters, your community matters, your family matters, right? Your real estate community matters. And you and I both know it's one reason why, unfortunately, I see so many fail in this business, because they've just joined the wrong family. They don't have
Yes.
the right support. This isn't a KW show, or a Keller, or Remax or a Coldwell Banker show. This is about real estate community. And I think there's so many people here that are with us today, and those that didn't get a chance to join us, that realize that we're a bunch of eagles who soar high. And I love this community, and I love soaring. I love seeing Richie succeed, right? And Christina and my friend Kelly and Michelle, who's going to be new to this industry. Again, if you're not surrounding yourself by, I think, people who 10x, right? That's where you want to be, in that room with folks who are doing it and doing it big. And so you guys have done it big for a long time. you know, 20 to 30 million. That's no small feat there in the New York area. Before we move on, and this is a complete side note, I stumbled on this. I think it's Selling Manhattan about Ryan Serhant, right?
Mhm.
Do you come across his team there in the boroughs or not?
Not so much. The price range that he deals with is not our price range. I would love to do
Yes,
that price range, but it's not in our wheelhouse at this moment.
yes.
Um, it is similar to what he's doing, what he's dealing with is kind of similar to what we're doing also, but it's just a different price point,
Okay. Okay.
clientele.
It's crazy because I don't watch any of those shows, but yesterday I was just trying to find something to entertain myself and I stumbled there. And I thought that was so timely having you on today. I think again, it was supposed to happen that way, serendipitous
Yes,
follow on to, right? So I thought I'd ask you about it. So I know there was something that you and I had touched on last week, and you'll have to remind me because again, I've slept since then. That
you sleep?
right, barely, barely. But there's something, I think there's something in your wheelhouse. Maybe, hopefully, you jotted it down that
Yes.
you wanted to touch on. And was that
Uh,
networking, right?
yes, it was.
Yeah,
Yes, it was
yeah. Let's
networking.
touch on.
Basically, me and my business partner, we do completely different stuff. He's on the phones, pounding the phones. He's talking to expireds. He's talking to FISBOs and stuff like that. I'm more. Most of my business comes from agent to agent business. People I meet at networking functions and things like that. We both basically tap into our past clients. Also, I got to stop calling them past clients. Our clients, and
Mhm.
because they're clients for life, and that's how we should always approach it. And
Absolutely.
so we've both tapped into that a lot, especially the last couple of years. And for me, the networking basically has helped a lot tremendously. And I've did it slightly different over the years. I think we all do the same thing as humans. When we go to an event, we usually like if I see you, I'm gonna hang out with you for a bit and chop it up with you for a while. And then if Richie comes over, we start talking. If Monique comes over, we start talking. But then I neglect everybody else in the room because I'm too busy talking to you guys, and I already know you guys already. And I gotta remember the whole purpose of me coming to the event is to meet people who I don't know. So I'll see you guys. Hey, how you doing? I got my task at hand is to meet 4 or 5 people, whatever the number is, and I gotta do that. And then I'll come chop it up with you later. If not, we'll grab coffee or whatever later on. And no disrespect. And if I'm already having a conversation with you beforehand, hey Ben, are you going to such and such event? Yes. Okay, great. Oh, my goal is to meet 5 people. What's your goal? And we help each other out. So if you know that I need to meet a CPA, a probate, or whatever the case may be, we both go in basically with the same mindset. All right, I need to meet XYZ. I need to meet XYZ. So you go one side of the room, I go on the other side of the room, and then we do what we got to do and meet in the middle. And sometimes basically the conversation just flows naturally when we meet somebody. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. You know what? I need to introduce you to somebody. Oh, look, there's Ben right there. Ben, come here for a second. I got to introduce you to Richie. Richie, Ben, blah, 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 vice versa. And that's usually how the conversations usually flow naturally. Obviously, if we're not vibing, it's not going to work sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work right then and there, but we have a conversation. And I do write information on the back of people's cards because we're meeting a lot of people. So if there's something as we're having a conversation, something strikes up the conversation, I'm like, all right, you know what? That's kind of interesting. You do that, or what kind of clientele are you looking for? I'm writing it down on the back of your card. So later on, I already have that information. I'll refresh my memory when I'm having a conversation with them later on. The other thing that I slightly do differently over the years is pretty much I'm going to an event beforehand. I try to go to at least 2 events every month, 2 different networking events, and I'll shoot a video before that event the day of. Hey, it was a pleasure meeting. I'll do a generic video, and then after the event's over, if I'm in my car driving back to my house or to the office or wherever I'm going back to, I'll shoot another video or wherever I'm at. Shoot another video specifically for that person. So I'll have a generic video that goes out to everybody, and then a specific video for each person that I met if we had a conversation and it was something memorable. And I try and stay in contact with people and try to schedule, a meeting at some point, whether it's a virtual meeting or we meet for coffee. I'm not a coffee guy. I'm a beer guy. Like I said, I'm simple. I like drinking beer a little too much. So depending on what the other person's, thing is, I see the mug. So if you need to drink coffee, I'll bring my mug basically, and we can have coffee or whatever, or whatever you're comfortable with, or we just go hang out and eat. Just keep it very simple. It's like, let's have a conversation. What kind of clientele are you looking for? Where does majority of your business come from? I'll have those conversations with people. People usually will open up. The more questions you ask about them, the more curious they'll start getting about you without you having to throw it in their face. I'm a realtor. Send me all your business.
Right.
If
Right.
they like you, they're going to remember that, and just stay in contact with people on a regular basis. Send them emails, send them texts, send them video emails. I would say a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but send it on a frequent basis. Will pretty much here's what's going on in the market in this area, just in case it might be of use for you and your clients. Sometimes a real estate conversation might come up. You need something answered. I'm here to answer them for you. Or better yet, something I started doing recently is pretty much interviewing the people that I met at networking functions. If I think they have an interesting background or what they're doing in their field might be something of interest to the people that I know and my clientele, my current clients, my just say clients altogether. And I'm trying to fight from saying past clients, my clients. So I'll do an interview, copy that video, and send it out to my clientele, put it on my Facebook, Instagram, my social media, and just try and connect with as many people as possible. And you never know, somebody might see that video. Hey, I do need a handyman. I didn't realize handyman do this, and this, or whoever it is that you're interviewing that time. Next thing I got working that I have want to work on is pretty much. I did mention that I like to eat, so I'm gonna start interviewing more restaurant owners, how did they get started, stuff like that, and that's pretty much it. Because you just show the neighborhood, show what's going on in the neighborhood, show the restaurants because we all have to eat at some point, and it's kind of a common ground for people. They're like, "Oh wow, I didn't realize you went to this restaurant." I kind of like that, but it might open up new conversations with you. And obviously, the more I'm talking, the more people are seeing the videos, the more like they're recognizing it. Oh yeah, you're the realtor. I need to talk to you. Blah blah blah. I can't tell you how many times people to come up to me. Hey, I know you. I'm like, where do you know me from? If it was from my 20s, I'm sorry in advance. Well, it's kind of too late now, but I'm sorry. I was young and I was drinking way too much. I'm sorry.
Got it.
But I just hope my MySpace page doesn't come back up. But that's another story.
Well,
Some of you are too young to
up,
even know what
breaking up
MySpace
a
is.
little bit. So I think yeah, yeah, I guess you
You
were
got the gist.
a New Yorker in you, man. You were just moving around and you were a little slow
Yeah.
for the video to catch up. But no, I think that for the newer folks on the on the call today, it's important, I think, to have a purpose, right? And what I hear is purpose in your networking, and it's to meet. And I think that most of the veterans on this call, because I know that I think I'm going to the NARAB event in New Orleans at the end of the month. And when I go to any event like that, I've got a targeted number. For me, typically it's anywhere from 50 to 75, because I'm there for days. I've got to meet that many people. And I think to have a plan, you put yourself in an uncomfortable state because these are people you don't know,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I
It's
think
very
that's
uncomfortable. It's nerve-wracking that you're talking to people you don't know.
it.
But you perform like you always say basically you soar with eagles. So if you're in the space that you're supposed to be, you're gonna find your people, your vibe, you're gonna click.
100%, 100%. So,
Uh,
and I think what we know is because now, you know what, halftime is over. We're now in the second half of the year, and it's crazy to think that half of 2024 is over. And what adjustments are we going to make at this point? I think many of us, or at least I'm talking to myself, because when I look at the numbers, I think I'm about 8 units off my goal, right? And pacing. So I'm going to have to put myself in uncomfortableness even more in order to, to have a record-breaking second half. So I'm willing to do some of those things, and I know majority of the folks on the call are too. We've got to step up our game, and so and I know this community will do it, and I applaud each and every one of you, and really want to hear of your success, because when I ask you, I think everybody's got something they're doing at a high level, right? And again, I call it your velvet rope, right? These are things that, you're getting huge return on that investment, right? If it's Dean working for sale by owners or expires, and that's you bringing networking to the table, that's me hosting my events and staying in front of my A and B clients, whatever it is, right? I think we probably need to do more right now, right? And I
can, can I
probably,
add something?
Absolutely.
Being that it's summertime right now, a lot of us are doing summer activities with our friends or family. There's a lot of barbecue, a lot of cookouts right now. So get yourself a shirt, get yourself one of these with your name on it. You just happen to be showing a property. You just happen to have that on your way to Staples, to Starbucks, to whatever. Basically, you happen to have one on. You're getting extra food for the barbecue and whatnot. Strike up a conversation while you're online with people. Strike up a conversation while you're at the barbecue, the cookout. You don't even have to say much because they're gonna see this on you. They're gonna ask you questions, and just always have your business cards. Have everything have a QR code on it. Just make your life as easy as possible, and just strike up conversations. I see Stephen. Stephen, what are you showing us right now? You have business cards in your hand.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Always have business cards with you. Always keep a batch in your car. Keep a batch in your business cards. Then do something with that has a QR code that takes you to your website. I use a product. I'm not trying to product place anything right now, but I have a card that's a digital card that has my business card, my information, my social media, my website, all the buyer and seller guides that I have, different categories for people who are relocating, people who are going through a divorce, short sales, all that stuff. I have that all like kind of like a link tree type thing. So when they scan that, I give them something of value. They see that, they constantly keep coming back, and and there's a video in there as well when they look on that profile, and I'll say, hey, thank you for looking at my website. And in here, you'll find this, 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 and this. If you have any questions that you might have, feel free to reach out to me. You can also click this button down below and book an appointment with me. So everybody pretty much gets that when I send out a video to them. And I would say, as you're networking everywhere. While you're at the coffee shop, Starbucks, you're going to Home Depot, wherever you're going, you're always networking. So as you're having conversations, and don't ever forget the people behind the register, the people cleaning your cars, everybody basically. If you're giving money out, that's an opportunity for you to talk to people. I can't tell you how many times when I was eating meat, I was at McDonald's and this guy would call me and he would always hear me, "What are you doing? Where are you? Can I get a number two and number three, please? Are you at McDonald's? No, Burger King." And I'm giving out my cards because I was taking bull at the time. I'm giving my cards out to a couple of people. I would get a couple of phone calls back. People did want some real estate advice. They did need some help, so I was giving out my card to everybody, and I did get some business out of it. So don't be shy. Everybody gets a business card and collect their information as well. You never know when you can help them. It might not be now. It might be later on.
Amen. Amen. Now, again, the fact that you've been bringing the meat, but you don't eat the meat. So talk
Nope.
to us about that, man. Let's go.
Um, find like-minded people. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, find like-minded people who, if you happen to be the realtor in that group that does that sort of thing, find your people, find your tribe. I'm in Tom Ferry. He always says find your tribe. I'm also a nerd. You can't really see most of my collectibles. I don't have most of them here in my office. I'm into wrestling. I'm into sci-fi. So I find my community and I try to get business out of them when I can. So if you like doing certain things, basically, if you like knitting, if you like going out sporting events, if you like crocheting, find your tribe.